Kanye West and his ability to actually sell product, man, it's undeniable at this point. I mean, for Adidas to kind of backpedal away from him after he made certain comments about, you know, certain religious groups. But at the end of the day, I believe Kanye West knows that they're so profit driven that they're going to spin the block around and come right back to him in order to sell those shoes. And it shows you how the landscape overall just changed. A lot of institutions are kind of grappling with the fact that consumers nowadays are not necessarily brand loyal, but they're kind of more addicted to personalities, or just kind of lean towards more of the personalities. I don't know if social media has anything to do with it, due to the fact that it does give personalities an ability to reach people and kind of be more vulnerable, less corporatized. But before we get to what Kanye had to say about Adidas, check out how crazy Kanye is. The fact that he left Alex Jones speechless. I mean, you can't even stop Alex Jones from shutting the fuck up, but Jesus Christ. Check out right here as he leaves Alex Jones with just no words to say. Conspiracy Alex Jones got nothing to say. That's how bugged out Kanye is. But you guys check it out.
And then I'm gonna say something. All right.
You're not only an artist, you're a comedian. But Nick, that's what I'm getting at here is that is that it was a it doesn't matter.
I don't like the word evil next to Nazis. I think we need to look at.
Oh my goodness! Just because you don't like one group doesn't mean the other. But look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Oh man! Well, I have to disagree with that. But listen, we're gonna go to break. I'm the crazy one here. We're all crazy. The whole world's crazy.
Yo, Alex Jones don't even know what the fuck to say. I mean, Kanye West is bugged out. But let's not forget, as I alluded to earlier, that things nowadays are more personality driven. And I believe Kanye West understood that it was his name that was selling the Yeezys, not necessarily Adidas. Adidas does have the infrastructure to sell it with the factories, the distribution, getting the products made. But the fact that they gave him such a low royalty rate of 10 to 15% on the net sales of the shoes, and they have all the numbers of just all the control costs, the shipping, the factories, the employees, they can actually inflate these very similar to what he's seen from record labels, how they inflated the marketing, the studio time, etc., in order to cut Kanye West a more diminished rate of return on his sales. But there's consequences of just messing up the business of Adidas like that. A Fortune 500 company where Kanye West leaving them affected their stock value. It's to the point where they're so profit driven that they actually came back around, try to sell the Kanye shoes. They really needed his name and his face attached to it. And they end up just scrapping the whole plan, selling whatever they could, giving Kanye back his Yeezy brand as far as the name, but keeping the design of the shoes underneath their copyright or just their overall infrastructure. They keep all that stuff, the patents, any type of technology on the boost, on the shoes, etc. But even though they give Kanye West back his Yeezy brand, there's going to be unfortunate consequences of it. And there was already telltale signs when we seen Kanye West actually get debanked. I've never seen no shit like that. Debanked? We're talking about a multi-millionaire. He has millions of dollars, what he said, in Chase Bank or whatever bank he had, and they debanked him after his anti-Semitic comments. I've never seen that before. But here's Kanye West talking about some of the issues he's been having beyond just selling clothes or just trying to put his Yeezy product out. He released the album and they actually yanked it off of streaming services. Sometimes the people who own the original sample kind of lets the money pile up, then they sue, then they collect all the money that was previously made. But I've never seen this before. They just sued right away and they instantly yanked the music out of streaming services. And this is after him possibly going #1 that week. But you guys check out him speaking on it, and every once in a while I'll check in.
Yo, this Ye. We just sold out the United Center in 7 minutes. And I just wanted to express to everybody out there to see if it's anyone that can help with this. it's the only arena that I had access to in the past year. And when I call, people say there's no avails for me. And you know why that is. So if there's anybody out there that can help with this, please.
Keep in mind, there's companies out there like BlackRock who own a percentage of everything. So Kanye West messing up that Adidas stock, it probably definitely affected them. And you know, they own percentages in institutional things like these stadiums, streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music. So Kanye West kind of getting blackballed institutionally shouldn't be a shocker. But United Center in Chicago is one of his only few venues that allowed him to perform there. That's kind of crazy. We talking about Kanye West here. But he also alluded to not being able to do this alone. Once again, man, what does Kanye expect? You're going to get blocked on an institutional level.
Life is not a solo project. And I believe that being the single richest black man in the world cannot secure your position in order to move people.
Now, right now, that's self-proclaimed richest black man because I don't know how Forbes did it, but they somehow counted El Chapo's money to actually give him a ranking within Forbes magazine. But yet they went out of their way and released separate articles debunking that Kanye West was an actual billionaire. I've never seen no shit like this. But it wouldn't shock me if to be on Forbes magazine is like being on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's usually a campaign that's ran for you and you kind of donate quote unquote money to the cause of that campaign, and all of a sudden you get your star of fame. And Forbes magazine, it doesn't strike me that they kind of work in a similar way. And a perfect example of this is Kylie Jenner being 18 years old, fresh out of high school, and they said that she was a billionaire. Oh man, that's crazy. Like Pusha T says, billionaires on TV. That shit don't make no sense to me.
A king needs an army, and it became an army. It was like, yo, Ty is with me. He came to my party, and I looked and I was like, yo, this dude is like,
shout out to Ty.
The head of the spaceship. You know what I mean? Like he's going like Han Solo.
That's what streaming companies think of us as the musicians, and all the label owners just hand it over. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. We ain't on that, bro. As long as I breathe, I'm here for all of my artists, all of my peers, and all the people. People get in the way. That's what the market does. They get in the way. The diamonds are infinite, but people make a market out of it and try to charge more. They make diamonds are girl's best friend. You see what I'm saying? They make the Twix bigger. They trying to make us fat. You know what I mean? Will lose their jobs, lose their careers for taking the steps that we took. You know, we went down for like a year and a half. You know, people think that I got, you know, kicked out of Adidas for the tweet. We were having problems before. They were stealing my designs. They still trying to sue me. It's like, get right. Right. No, get right. Be honest. Y'all gonna send me $100 million a year, then say that I misallocated the marketing. I was the marketing. Look at where y'all at now. Look at where we at right now. Y'all want to play? You're not gonna have me nap on the board. These companies, Gap, Balenciaga, they just want to use the celebrities and have us be like the polo man on the top of the horse. And everybody knows. Everybody felt what I felt. You know what I'm saying? I even said the apology, and they still f with me. You know what I'm saying? I said apology.
You hear that right there? He sent the apology and they're still fucking with him. They're fucking with him on an institutional level. And it's interesting because in Drink Champs, Kanye had kind of alluded to offending, I believe, Donald Trump's son, David Kushner, or his son-in-law. He offended him by saying, no, he didn't fuck his wife in front of like a bunch of people. And then Kushner, I believe a few months later, ended up buying a major stake in Kim Kardashian's Skims brand. He actually owned more of it than Kanye did. He went behind his back and bought a major stake in that brand. That's how connected that motherfucker is. He did not go back and forth with Kanye after he embarrassed him. He just affected his pockets. And this is the way Kanye should really be kind of going back and forth with people he has issues with. It shouldn't just be a bunch of ranting and trying to weaponize your fan base. That really doesn't do much. Not on that level.
Some of the stuff I was saying was true. So until y'all come up and say, yo, what he was saying, some of that was true, then go ahead with all that. But we got to a point where something needed to happen. Something needed to be said.
I believe that something needed to be said. That was Kanye trying to get out of that contract. That's what it's all about. It's not necessarily about the comments. He just made those comments so they can separate from him. He was trying to get out of that deal. Because at the end of the day, like he said, he is the marketing. He's the one that's selling the shoes. Why the fuck is he only collecting 10%?
Somebody need to say something. Now, if you're in an argument with somebody, you're not going to say everything the right way. But it got to a point where y'all ain't going to just keep running, start calling me bizarre and impressed for all these years. I got to a point, how many more times are going to call me crazy? How many more times are going to give me fake medication that makes me fat off of a misdiagnosis? When I'm really...
Man, at some point, Kanye's going to have to explain of how they put you in that deal where you're only collecting 10% of the net sales. Did they leverage the fact that they had all that institutional investments in the distribution, the factories around the world, the stores around the world? They leverage all that against you where you had to say, fuck, man, I got to do this and accept this 10% royalty rate. That's after all the expenses and everything else is paid. But Kanye, once again, he continues to weaponize his fan base. And like I said, on that level, it's definitely different types of games you got to play.
Let me explain really clear to you guys what's happening with Adidas. It's not only are they putting out fake colorways that are non-approved, they're suing me for $250 million, and they're also not paying me for these shoes that they're putting out that have my name on it. And they're using contract clauses and 50 years of business experience to rape an artist, one of y'all favorite artists, right in front of y'all in broad daylight.
And it's very important, man. That contract language is a motherfucker. These institutions definitely have a gang of lawyers that understand this type of contract language, and they'll put it in to finesse you. But the Yeezys cannot sell without Kanye West's cosign. And this is where the landscape, because of technology, aka social media, comes into play. Now, because of that, they really can't sell the shoes. Kanye could just broadcast himself and tell his whole audience not to fuck with the shoes. And I don't believe that there's ever been a celebrity on this level that has this type of influence on his fan base and their purchasing power or just their perception to purchase something. Kanye plays major influence on moving certain product. And I believe that's why Adidas had to double back around and actually continue with them even after he made the comments. Because if they were so bad, they should have never, ever messed with him ever again. No questions asked. But the real question, I'm surprised a lot of media like TMZ, etc. never asked Kanye, why is Adidas still doing business with you if your comments are so bad? Like, they're definitely outrageous, his comments, but Adidas faces no backlash from doubling back and doing business with Kanye. I'm shocked about that. But again, it's all about the perception.